What's up, guys? It's the underpaid producer, and I guess this is going to be my very first video that's ever put on the internet. And for those of you who don't know me, I have been doing content with Mike the Cop since the beginning of what he's been doing, and that's kind of where I honed in my craft and where I learned, and that's just where I've been for the past few years. And what a lot of you don't know is that I recently started up my own production company, and I just kind of figured it's time to sort of share the knowledge that I've learned and the life experiences I've learned up until this point, only being 20 and running a production company, and how I do video editing and all of those things. So if you're interested in any of that, I'm going to be posting that content here, but I'm also going to be posting some short stories that I edit in film. So basically, I'm going to be doing a bunch of different content here focused around this film look. Sorry that the lighting is so awful. I did not have the patience this morning before work to get all my lights in order, so it is what it is. But today's episode is going to be about my first camera. So a lot of people would see from the outside this camera. They think that I just started with this. People don't really think about what it took to get to this. And even then, this has a kit lens on it still. The lens that I'm filming with is not a kit lens, but yeah, I still use what I got when I first bought the camera. But yeah, a lot of people would just see this and be like, oh wow, that's a lot of money. How'd you get the money for that? Well, the truth is that you don't need that camera. I feel like today so many filmmakers get caught up in the idea of equipment. Even I do. I've been looking at these professional Cine cameras and I'm like, oh, if only I had that, my content would be this much better. And while it's true, there is a certain level of professionalism with getting cameras that can shoot raw, and how many pixels their sensor is, and there's so many different things that people can get caught up in. But what a lot of people forget about is just the art of filmmaking. I went out to Best Buy because I had been filming on a phone for my dad, Mike the Cop, and I had to do a project for his nonprofit that he had started. We decided to dump some money into this little bad boy right here, the Nikon D3300, which was, honestly at the time, I thought this was the coolest thing ever. But the funny story is, if I look back at that video, I'm like, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? You can see, I don't want to say raw talent, but you can kind of see the genuineness in the footage. It was me learning how to use a camera, but I would be 100% confident right now in going out and filming with this camera if I had to, because you know what? It's not the camera that can really tell a story. It's the person, the filmmaker, and those are the skills that you need to learn. I would just suggest not getting so caught up in this world of money and cameras and computers and microphones. While all those things are nice and they add value to what you're doing, and they will make you money if you're doing videography for a living or even photography for a living, as long as you have a everybody can be a filmmaker today. Everybody has one of these. I don't know anybody who doesn't. Anybody can make a film. But I remember going to Best Buy and spending, I think, $400 on this kit, and it's red because they were out of the black ones. So I was just like, okay, well, we need a camera, let's just get it. And I filmed that night, and I was charging the camera in between takes and learning how to use all of the different buttons on here, changing the ISO, the shutter, everything that you could think of, I learned on this camera. And while it's a cheapo camera that not many filmmakers would ever even consider buying, it's how I learned. And I think that that's what's important to take away from this video, if anything, is that you don't need a Sony A7 III or S2 or A9 or I don't know, Lumix GH5. You don't need a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. Like, you don't need that stuff. And while it's awesome, the truth is that behind every great film is the filmmaker, not the camera. That's it. So if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I promise I'm going to be putting more content out. They are just turned on. I promise I'm going to be putting more content out. If you have any suggestions for content you want to see, just let me know. I have a few video ideas that I already have written out and ready for you guys. I hope this video turned out well, but yeah, alright. See you guys in the next one.